And so, yeah, we have the Cavern of Victory.
Hmm.
And it's this is my opinion as opposed to any objective criticism or whatever. A lot of people I know like the monument. I don't like the monument. I I
Them.
I like the idea of kind of like the rainbow circle, but I really don't like an area where I can't get a good
It's
screenshot at the end. Ugh.
yeah. I was two things that bother me about this, and I'm still trying to redesign this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, what you said, like the screenshot thingy-majig, and it's also that it's this one is just way too cramped. Like, oh, I can't see all things at once. Oh, oh, oh,
All
and
right.
another block in my face, and another one.
And then also, yeah, like base building or whatever. Like if there were a taller ceiling and there weren't the lava streams coming down, I could have imagined like like building a house kind of in a floating area out here or something.
Yeah,
Um,
what I wanted people to do with that is to build in
in
Lumen
Lumenspire,
Spire,
yeah, I've
because
seen.
you come around so often in there that it's
Right,
like, hey, is your home again?
it is a reasonable thing to do. Yeah, from a personal point of view or whatever. Like I like to set up my storage like right next to the monument, like as close as
Yeah.
possible. And so you
Hmm.
saw, I mean, a part of it was just because of the fact that I'm an idiot and didn't see that there was a staircase going down here, and so I started setting up there before I even discovered that the room was down here.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just set up all my chests, right in front of the monument.
yeah. I don't know how I feel about giving the player already a base, like a pre-made base. Like some
Hmm.
people like it, but I think it's part of Minecraft to make your own base
I do
instead
too.
of.
Yeah, so I think my personal opinion is that I'd prefer just to like give people materials. I would have loved if you gave us one ender chest and rather than having it placed down, say, despite the rules, you can place this one wherever you decide to make your base, or something like that. And I know you said
Yeah,
like you could pick it up and move it if you wanted, and it wouldn't be, cheating, but I didn't bother actually moving it. But
yeah. I think I'm going to say in the rules that you can um, just place it whatever you want, but just be careful that it could ruin your experience or something like that.
hmm,
Like just don't place it around the rule box.
right.
Only in safe zones, maybe.
So yeah, I would personally prefer that. I have seen a couple people use the existing rooms, and I think that it's kind of a reasonable size and location in terms of where you do that here. And I also like the fact that because you have the rooms here, it gave you an opportunity to hide an emerald down here in.
Yeah, I find that funny to do, or fun to do. To just use the emerald block in combination with another bright green block
Yes.
to just hide stuff.
And so
Like
I thought that that was
most,
very effective.
and my main goal with this was that you are so often in this place, and that when you finally notice it, because some people are just
Mm-hmm.
going to take a few hours to actually notice it, then it would just facepalm really bad.
Yep.
It was really my goal with this.
Yep. So yeah, that one was a good location. And then if you do come down here first from the balcony, I think it's pretty obvious that there's like a little hallway over by the lava stream over here
Yeah,
for hiding
that
the
was
other
actually
emerald.
that was actually more obvious than I intended it to be.
I think it's kind of fine though in the Cavern of Victory. Like it's early in the map, and
Yeah,
yeah,
as long as a few are well hidden, not too well like that
yeah.
one.
There's 50. Yeah, exactly. There's 54 of them or whatever, and so having a few easy ones
Yeah,
is fine by me.
that's actually why I used them at first in Goliath, is because it was such a big map, and you had all these small extra dungeons. It's basically like, oh, here you got a minor objective out of this dungeon.
Mm.
So that's why I originally used them, or to make the player still feel accomplished, but not giving out OP stuff.
And it wasn't in my version, but if you open up the emerald chest, now it's laid out like this. And so, for example, in emeralds 31 through 36, which are all from, I can't think of the name of the area.
One to
Forlorn Legacy?
Forlorn Legacy, yeah,
Right. Which I guess is where the purple wool is.
yeah.
I'll have the purple glass panes. Where'd you get that crazy idea?
what the? I actually had that idea myself too. I was also thinking of just giving the names out as well, but I was kind of too lazy to actually do. No, wait, what's? I wanted to put the name of the area
Mm-hmm.
on the emerald. So I find an emerald
Oh,
with
and then
name.
you'd after you found it, you know the player already knows the
Yes.
name, and therefore, but that would have to go. You'd have to go update all 54 emeralds with the
Yeah.
names, right?
So yeah. So that's next map.
I
I'm
see.
too
But yeah,
lazy.
I do think that that would be a nice idea. So that then afterwards, you could, if you had three of the four, and you were like, which did it come from? You'd look and say abandoned mines on the
Yeah,
emerald you already had. Yeah, that'd be good.
because I could put it on the panes as well, but then it would be a bit spoilery.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. But yeah, I think that's a good improvement.
Hmm.
And let's see. And yeah, I can't remember if I had talked about it in my playthrough or just asked you about it. I guess we'll when we come back around to the shortcut. But just the fact that it replaces blocks, I guess it only replaces air blocks when it builds the little bridge shortcut.
Yeah, that's something you have to be really careful with.
Yeah. Right. There's the little trap here right at the entrance,
Hmm.
which is cute and fun. That's where I got. I
Yeah,
think that's where I got the redstone to make the redstone block because I think the first block I put on the monument was redstone.
yeah, I believe they are precisely 9, or are they a bit more? No, they are more.
There's more. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at first thinking of just making it precisely 8,
I
just
see.
to annoy you a bit, but
uh,
yeah, it
And
didn't
yeah, I feel like
turn
this
out
is a
so
good
well.
trap also for early on in the area. It surprises you. It's unlikely to actually kill you. And yeah, it
Yeah,
just gives you a sense of, hey, even though you're in the Cavern of Victory, it's render, and so nothing is ever completely safe.
yeah, most areas were supposed to be like that. Or most areas, most traps.
Surprise you, but not kill you.
Yeah, and I think this also does with the redstone block. It makes you feel smart as a player, which is also something which
Yes.
is really good to do.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I remember being very proud of myself when I brought the mycelium back to the base to spawn some mushroom cows.
Hmm. Okay,
Um,
wait, be quiet for a bit. Let me see if it triggers.
it's right around here, yeah, I know. The whoosh.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you have to be in survival mode. I'm not sure what it's detecting. Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
yeah, there it is. So it's you have been in all these cramped caves, and then you come to this big open cave,
I see. And so is that just
and
a
then
slowed down version of one of the whoosh ambience sounds, or is that special in the
yeah,
resource pack?
it's just some of the ambient
Okay,
sounds, but it's basically to add a bit more atmosphere,
got it.
which I think is fun to do in a game like this.
Yeah, especially since those ambience noises like don't ever play anymore. Like,
Yeah, what they really don't.
yeah, they've been completely broken for lots of time, and the bug got fixed as like working as intended, or won't fix, or something
Uh,
ridiculous. It's crazy.
yeah, the sound engine is pretty broken in this game, just in general. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Okay, these are a lot of mobs. Yeah.
I guess we just spent a bunch of time in the
Oh yeah.
Victory Cavern, and there's two of us here or whatever, and that was a mushroom biome over there, so everybody spawned over
Oh
the other
yeah.
edge.
Does it then actually double the mob cap?
I think so. And
Because
so,
I remember doing a UHG and literally encountering no mob at all, just getting almost a full 24 diamonds.
yeah, it's one of those things that basically, it's mobs throughout the map, and so if a bunch of mobs spawn at someone else, then maybe you don't get any of them, and yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure a good way to kind of solve that. It's a kind of harder problem.
Yeah.
Lumenspire Cavern. And yeah, it's the first big, huge area.
Hmm.
And let's see, I think Infernizer. Oh, no, that's right, the projectile chest plate.
Yes. So you basically get the shield and the projectile protection
Oh, right, the shield was back
at
over
the
here,
beginning.
yep. Although there was
Yeah.
only one, and I saw a couple
Yeah.
people comment on, if you lose it, there's a
Yeah.
couple
That's why
pieces of, 3 pieces of iron
that's
over there, but
Yeah, that's precisely why the iron is there. Or it is for a lava bucket, if you really,
Mm.
you know.
Or if you're me, it's for a water bucket because I saw 3 pieces and I saw the place to get the water and I was like, I know what I'm doing. And then I,
Hmm.
get the water bucket and spend, the next hour basically turning all the lava into obsidian.
Yeah.
But I seem to be the only one who's like that. I see a lot of other
Hmm.
people trying to preserve the lava for the look.
Most people actually miss this chest. Like,
It's up high.
yeah, some people see it from here and are like, "Oh yeah, there's a chest over there," and
Mm,
just walk under it and just forget that it was there.
right.
Some people just don't see it at all.
But yeah, there's a lot of things, that you're dealing with around here. And so, yeah.
Yeah, like the difficulty over here just curves up really fast.
Yes.
And
And the
then,
skeletons obviously start appearing for the first time when you're in here, which is why
yeah,
you need it. Um,
which are actually not appearing right now. Okay.
um, Yeah, and so when you walk into this area, like when you get a good overlook over here, like you can just see the cliffs over there. You can obviously see the big tree. You can see that there's some grass and dirt over there. Um,
You can see the prismarine.
yeah, I guess if you're way over here, you can see the prismarine. I don't know. I want to get rid of my night vision really quick.
There are some sea lanterns over there as well. I believe I have done that with
Yeah, you're right. Yep,
almost. Yeah. Like I believe like all prismarine is pretty lit up in that area and the Whistling Cove as well.
I see.
Um, but yeah, you just come in this area and you instantly see your tree and your grass and your food basically. But then you see all the mobs in between. It's basically like this fight upwards to your uphill fight to your survival.
and yeah, there's a lot of different directions we could go to talk about different things. I'll let you pick, what to do, kind of like at the start of Loop Inspire to talk about.
Um, yeah, okay. So I don't know how visible is the mines from here. Yeah, you can see the wood from over here. Like if you stand over here, you can see the wood. Can you see it? It's actually not that visible.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
particularly.
it was supposed to be that you could see it from over here, and
I see.
you know, like, oh hey, there's something I need to go to. Yeah, you could basically this is basically the hub, and you could
Right,
just move out in all these ways.
right. Because basically, yeah, the dunes are over there, the abandoned mines are over there, the Forsaken Cliffs are over there, and the Drizzled Cove is over here. And then obviously the Victory Monument is right through here after we use the shortcut. And the shortcut's now basically just.
And now it makes sounds in your version. It didn't.
I see, yeah, makes the boom sound, but then just like builds you the perfect shortcut that I was talking about. And so if anyone
Hmm.
had built anything here, it would only replace the error blocks.
Yeah.
And this was a very convenient shortcut. And like you said, Bloom Inspire is kind of the hub, and so it's good to have that nice, quick way to get to the monument.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the dungeon, I guess.
All right.
Oh.
Well, before we do that, okay, so on this island, you have the purple dungeon, and it's got the glass that kind of like lets you
Hmm.
know that it's the dungeon once you have that figured out. But then there's grass seeds, there's melons, and I think there's a chest up under the spawner that also
Yeah.
has carrots. And so the question I am wondering is why you give everybody like all the food at once as opposed to like staggering it out.
Yeah, I should have probably started with just only giving out melons.
Hmm.
I've melons came later on
I see.
because I felt like, well, you now got food, so let's just give the players some lower quality food because they could literally sit here if they have one heart left and just wait for it to grow.
Hmm.
So this is basically just some quick food to get you up and going
I see.
because you basically have it. But yeah, I should probably have staggered it out more. But you, with a new combat system and just a new food system,
Melons
I
are a
felt
little
like
bit
it.
difficult. Yeah, the carrots. I feel like I don't know, like the carrots and the bread. Maybe I don't know if like the bread and grass seeds came later, and maybe the carrots were here or something.
They were both here already, but I felt like yeah, I just needed a bit to be a bit easier on the player with the
Hmm.
food system.
Yeah, I was surprised, and so basically I grew the carrots while I was trying to get the wheat farm growing because it takes a little bit longer to start a big wheat farm. And the carrots, you could just kind of like instantly, grow and eat.
Yeah,
And then once I had
carrots.
the wheat, I switched over.
I have tendency to use carrots way more than bread because like it takes
You don't have to
free
craft.
farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also free farmland for
Right, you need
one
more
piece
dirt, you
of
need
bread,
more bone meal to get the bread really going. Yeah.
and then it is 1 to 3 or 4 per farmland for carrots, and the wheat even has more stages as well. So that really needs some,
That's true.
yeah,
Wheat is a whole
wheat
lot more
balancing.
intensive or whatever, and so it's not, yeah, quite as equal as I was originally thinking about it.
hmm Okay. Oh, the tree.
Oh yeah, and the tree, which other than like the zombie spawner, like doesn't have a trap.
Yeah, these two zombie spawners used to be skeleton spawners as well.
I see.
But I basically just try to not use any skeleton spawners until you got the food and
Yeah, I think
the
that's good.
trees. So this map is actually pretty nice in terms of that. Like the beginning
Yeah,
few
I feel
parts.
like that's important because as a map maker, like you don't want to lose, even if you want to make a hard map, you don't want to lose your, viewing audience or playing audience or whatever, like at the beginning. And if you make it too hard at the beginning, then some people are just going to rage quit and never come back.
Yeah, I actually want to make a more like a really hard map, like a ROM hack hard.
Hmm.
And I think I just need to do a smaller one.
Yeah, that's
Just
the other thing. Like, if you're gonna make ROM hack hard, like the number of
that.
people is rather than 1,000 people are gonna play it, like 50 people are gonna play it. And so if you
Yeah,
also make it big, when you make a map too big, then rather than 1,000 people playing it, like 100 people are gonna play it if it's super big. And so yeah,
yeah,
ROM hack big map would be like 5 people would play it.
yeah. And it's also that it's just like a really hard map is really hard to balance, especially if it's a large map.
Hmm.
I
Right,
think a
because the
good
longer it goes on, yeah, you never know.
I think a good example is Nightmare Realm a bit,
I
like how
see.
that turned out. That's just personal. Oh yeah, you had the trap. Basically, me just saying like, "Oh hey, I'm Render. I trap literally every beginning tree."
Oh, if you dug down and took the dirt away from it, basically.
Yeah, yeah. There were 2 pieces of dirt right under each other. So
I see.
if you took the first one, it's okay, and then the second one is straight under
I
that.
see.
So
So I just didn't get greedy enough to discover that there is a trap here.
yeah, so some people would be greedy enough to actually dig 2 down, and yeah, then they're stuck in the TNT.
Hmm. And yeah, and then I guess you get the saplings up here in a chest, and yeah, a little bit
The
more
Iron
bone
Axe.
meal and the nice axe. So that's nice.
hmm
And I guess in terms of like under the tree, I guess while we're here, there's also
Oh yeah, the
this
emeralds. Yeah,
emerald. It took me a
this
little
used to.
while to find this one, but it's reasonably, if you're standing in the right spot so you see it, like it's reasonably easy to spot, I think.
Yeah, it has like this ink cove, which also makes it
Hmm.
better.
And yeah, I have mixed emotions. Like there isn't anything green showing. I guess it's like the only thing that's kind of potentially negative,
Yeah,
but I still think it's good enough.
that is something I am pretty inconsistent with. Is actually using green for emeralds or just hiding it behind something out of place.
Hmm. But yeah, I think it just happened to be a while before I'd kind of poured water over all the lava over here, and then at some point I finally walked by and I was like, oh, there's a
hmm
thingy.
Yeah. Um.
All right,
Oh
I think
yeah.
you wanted to go to the dungeon.
Yeah. Sure. The super cramped kind of dungeon.
Yes.
Also something I wanted to try out how people liked it.
I think most
'Cause-
people I saw really like this one.
yeah, it's basically something different than those really open, flat dungeons, which are also pretty fun.
Hmm.
Because it's like really hard to maneuver around, but it's also easy to just block up stuff and
Hmm.
take on rooms one by one.
Yep. And yeah, you do a good job in here, both of having things be cramped and also of placing stairs and slabs in different spots that are easy to kind of trip up the player. I guess we'll get to a little bit of that in a few
Yeah,
spots.
especially near the staircase. Something that happens over here if you go into game mode 3 and look at the cave spider spawner over there. I think
Over where?
um over there.
So kind of like below me down here?
I believe over here. Yeah, over here it is.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it is.
They'll be
It is.
spawning while you're up here.
Yeah, I should have probably used not cave spiders for this because, yeah, cave spiders king of the map.
Yeah, a
It's
number of people
pretty
commented that
difficult.
they thought that the cave spiders were mean in this area. It didn't really bother me, but
Yeah,
I did
they
hear a
were
number of
mean.
people say that. So
This is probably one of the points where the most people die. Like this cave spider room specifically.
I see. I was
I,
really surprised at how many people like jump down into. Let's go down the staircase.
yeah. Wait, where are you?
I'm coming. I'm behind you. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I was surprised how many people like jumped down into here and either like
Yeah.
didn't notice or didn't place blocks or got caught or whatever. Like this, I mean, a 2-drop gap and with cave spiders on your left.
Yeah, I'm so.
That was
mean.
enough to kill like 50% of the players.
That is why this point is so deadly. I believe the spawn is actually nerfed. Like
So
how
it
many cave
spawns
spiders?
slower or
Um,
fewer?
like yeah, it spawns because I believe the it could a normal spawner could spawn 4 mobs, but this one can only spawn 1.
I see.
And I think its cap is like 3 instead of 6.
I see.
So just to be a bit nicer. Instead
Yeah.
of you just swarming the player with cave spiders in the second dungeon.
But yeah, like you said, if they spent a little bit of time on the previous floor, perhaps a few had already built up. But yeah, I was surprised by how many people got tripped up here and complained about the cave spiders a little bit. But
Oh yes, this blade which was in that chest over there. The
oh yeah,
blistering blade.
yes, I think it had like smite on it, and
Yeah, it was basically my skeleton nerf sword. Which is
right.
it's a 2-hit, which is really nice. I don't know who it was. We just said like, oh, that's a nice backup sword. Yeah, nice. I was like, that thing is a lifesaver.
I think people don't appreciate, especially in the new combat update, how important Smite or Bane of Arthropods are for undead or spider-heavy areas. Because it used to be the case that just kind of like sharpness was always, good enough or whatever.
Yeah, sharpness is not what it used to be.
Exactly.
Sharpness used to be what was it? 1.25 per level of sharpness, but now it's only the first level gives 1.
And then after that, it's like
And,
0.5 or something.
Yeah, 0.5 every time. So a diamond sword, which is 7, with sharpness 5, is the only way to 2 hits with a diamond sword.
Yeah.
But then you of course have critical hits as well.
Right.
And fire aspect. But yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember if I used this sword very much, but I appreciated it. So here's an example of one of the staircases that it's easy to go down and not realize. If I go ahead and oh, interesting. Oh, I'm in creative mode, so I can't break with the sword. Like not realize that it's not easy to go back up here because you can walk up here and then you have to jump, or you can walk up the other place and then you have to jump.
And your punishment for that is there's a zombie spawner to the left in this room, and there's one to the right as well, and there's one straight forward. So you basically get swarmed if you don't prepare your.
If you get hung up. And so
getaway.
once again, this is if people come down here and see that there's an intersection, it's Minecraft, and to win at Minecraft you must place blocks. And so if you block off one or two ways, it's pretty straightforward. But if you don't, you could easily get yourself in trouble.
In Minecraft.
And then this is kind of again tight quarters, but relatively straightforward. Kind of like a spawner in each room. I think there's an emerald hidden over here if you go in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I think I need to stop hiding emeralds in like these one white. This is not one white anymore. It used to be that it was only
I see.
this.
Got it. So yeah,
But
it's
leaving your
definitely better when it's opened up the way that it originally was.
yeah, but
And
just hiding it in ceilings is
yeah, ceilings. That yeah, I feel like just about every player has a blind spot for ceilings. I know I especially do, and I don't think it was an awful spot to hide it. But the problem is, I figured there was probably one in the dungeon, but I came back and I looked through this whole dungeon 3 times before I finally asked for a hint, and I just still never found it. So,
okay. Yeah, I
um,
never saw that in your videos, so I thought you just never looked inside the dungeon.
oh yeah, I came
Yeah.
3 times. I brought quartz
Oh
blocks to like mark off the places that I had,
yeah.
visited, just to kind of like make sure I'd been in each room.
Oh, you had such a poor time.
But I'm not a great judge because I'm really bad at looking for things.
Yeah, details you're not the best at.
Yeah, there's a bunch of times where people are like, Brian, you're talking about X and it's right in the center of your screen at the moment you're talking about it.
I thought I was laughing at that with the what emerald was that with delusion. You were literally looking at the hole.
Oh yeah, that's right. The dark gray block on the yeah.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty obvious. And
In
I saw
retrospect,
Vox.
it was reasonably obvious. I have a comment when we get over there, but I'll wait until we get over there in terms of what I might
I
say.
remember Var on stream actually. I thought he was talking about emeralds or something like that, or secrets, and he was literally looking at it. I found it so funny.
Then there was a trap that two cave spiders out of a dispenser right over here.
Yeah. Okay. So. Oh. Wait. Huh? Wait. Why are they placed like this? Oh, that's a bug, I guess. These two are supposed to be up on top of these two blocks. And these two are sideways. So if you trigger one of them, the dispensers will trigger. Oh wait. Yeah. So it's basically like, oh, you can almost reach the chest, just break another block.
Got it. And so you break the block, and it breaks the torch, and the trap goes off. But then the spiders, they get dispensed like out of a hole down here, and for
Yeah,
whatever reason, sometimes they don't climb up, and they just get stuck down there.
yeah. What my idea with this was that, with 1.9 the collision is back, so I expected them to push each other up like how players used to push each other up with
got
ladders.
it.
But they really don't do that. Maybe if I do this. Oh, okay, if I hit them.
Yeah, I guess if they're not aggro, like they're basically just kind of like sitting around being idle, and so they're I'm not sure if they don't generate any pushing if they're not moving or what it is.
Yeah, and right before you break this block, or attempt you to break this block, I actually had you breaking some blocks over here as well, just to get you a bit in the
Right,
temptation
softened
of-
up to breaking the blocks already. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was a trap. I kind of like saw it kind of go off on some people and kind of did not on others, but they all heard the dispensers make the click, and so.
It's the weird cave spiders.
And now this staircase is, I think, probably the most evil of them all, because I think it is actually the case that maybe you can't jump back up unless you place a block or break a block or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can.
One staircase to
Yeah, right here, yeah.
Yeah. And also, oh, this used to be creeper. Oh yeah, this room is also pretty nerfed.
So I think now there's like 2 creepers and a cave spider in the back.
Three creeper spawners, 1 spider, and the cave spider spawner out of sight.
Right.
Or is this? Oh, I changed this to spider, didn't I?
Oh wow.
Or is this?
Did you?
No, this cave spider.
Okay, yeah,
no.
okay.
It was just slow to spawn.
Okay.
But yeah,
this one I think is okay because I don't remember if I saw anybody die in this room.
No, not really. That's something I also do a lot. Is that right before the wall, the difficulty starts to curve up again.
Mm-hmm.
And like this room in general is pretty meanly designed. Like just first the spiders, yeah, just a normal spider spawner, just spiders to waste your time a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and let the creepers and the cave spiders spawn,
Yeah.
basically.
And so yeah, I like this room and I like this dungeon in terms of just, fighting your way through it or whatever. And
Hmm.
yeah, it was very obvious as you were coming down here. You could see the wool. And we got magenta. You enchanted the wools.
Yeah.
Um, is it basically just to make sure they don't get confused with other wolves effectively, or?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like about the enchanted wolves, it doesn't with the magenta, it's kind of okay, but some of the other colors, like the fact that it's got this flashing thing on it, makes it hard to see what color it is. I mean, I guess you can hover over it and get the name, but kind of like changes the
Yeah.
color a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. That's
And yeah, I think that's
that's what.
probably everything in this dungeon.
Yeah, I think so.